because they don't need to tax, they can just print the money to pay the bills. Okay. The movie that was shown before gave a little introduction into where the money came from, but it's worth. I want to just take a second to refresh. They mentioned something called fractional reserve banking. I'm not sure if that had come up. Did you? And they mentioned these guys, the goldsmiths. This is an important part of the story because this is where we moved away from honest money and we moved towards the system that we have today. And you'll see, well, the movie kind of explained it, but just to review. There's no sense of a money system back in the day, back in the 16th century. It was just people used what they used. If you're going to work on the land, you're going to be paid. You know, what are you going to be paid with? It doesn't make sense if the farmer or the landowner is going to pay you, he's going to take out a piece of paper he rips and just write some numbers on it. No, you're going to want something that you could take and that other people are going to value. And gold and silver were things, valued the same way that a car is a thing, a TV is a thing, a table is a thing. It's not a representative of something else. Gold has value in and of itself. That's sort of the thing I think that, let's say, textbooks maybe won't emphasize. They'll say that money is just this medium of exchange, just used in between trading, something of value for something else of value. But gold itself holds value. People want gold. Gold costs a lot of money. If you want to buy a gold chain, it's not nothing. It's not emptiness. It costs a lot of money to get gold. Gold is very valuable. So when you're using gold to buy something, you've given up your labor, something of value, for gold, something of value. And you're trading the gold for some good. So everything has value in that process. With our paper money, the paper money has value only insofar as the government says it has value. Gold doesn't take anybody to say that it has value. So what happened? People were using gold, and people wanted to keep their gold safe. Anything that has value is going to want to be stolen, or you need to move it around. And you know, the conveniences of banking, where we can use our plastic cards and our credit cards and these sorts of things. So we want to keep our money in a bank. But what happened was people that took their gold took them to these people called goldsmiths. And those goldsmiths were just supposed to be like warehouses. They're storing my gold for safekeeping. I'm bringing my gold there, and they'll say, okay, well, I have your gold. Let me give you this thing. Okay, I've received your 20 pounds of gold. Here's my stamp. Give you that receipt, and at any time you want, you can come and give me the receipt and you get your gold back. So that happened. People would bring their gold in and they'd get the receipt back. But one day the banker realized that it had all this gold in its vault, but only a handful of people were coming in at any given time to reclaim these receipts. So the goldsmith sees all this gold sitting in his vault, and he thinks to himself, hey, well, in between all this time, I can take this gold and give it to other people, and they can do things with it. I can lend it to them at interest. And all these other people that are holding the receipts, well, they'll never be the wiser, because they're never going to come back and claim their gold. So you had the entering in of the scam, about the very core of why our banking system today is dishonest and the problem. It's that the goldsmiths who originally were supposed to hold our gold for safekeeping took it upon themselves to lend it out as if it was their own, to make interest on it. That's called fractional reserve banking. The idea being that there's going to be more all of the loans out there which are in the form of receipts that this goldsmith is going to do. Maybe I missed that part. If when he's loaning out that gold, he's not giving the gold physically to these other people. What he's doing is he's writing more of these pieces of paper that are claims on the gold and giving those claims out. So you have lots of claims on gold that are out here, and you have only this much gold back here. So you have all these claims, just a little bit of gold. That ratio of this amount of wealth to this amount of paper is the fractional reserve system, where our banks will keep this amount of the gold, and then there'll be this amount of paper that's out there. Now there's no longer even a requirement to keep a certain percentage of this paper out there. It's come to the point where that percentage, where it used to be half, or double the paper out there, and then there was quadruple, then 10 times, then 100 times, 1,000 times, until there was so much paper out there and so little gold sitting in the vault that one day the governments just said, well, you know what, you goldsmiths that were holding the gold originally for the people that came in for safekeeping, the government said, you don't even need to give the gold back. You take in the receipts, you take in the gold and give receipts, and you don't even need to exchange the receipts anymore for the gold. And that's the second robbery that took place. The first was that they were able to lend that gold out, which they were supposed to be stewards of. The second assault on the money was when the government said, you don't need to pay that. You don't need to redeem that gold back at all. So, you want to go to the next one here? So as you may gather, these goldsmiths that can take in gold and give out receipts till the cows come home, they have a tremendous amount of power. Because, I mean, just think what you would do if you had a money printing machine. If you had a machine in your basement that could just create money and do whatever you want with it, I mean, you could rule the world. I mean, maybe first you buy a Porsche or Mercedes, you have a good time, but then, you know, you have infinite money. You're just like, what are you going to do with this? You start to buy businesses. You're going to start to buy government officials. You're going to start to expand yourself. Power. Because once you have more money than you know what to do with, which is this dude, Amschel Rothschild, then the next thing is power. And I bring this up because he was instrumental in pushing forward these things that I'm talking about. Fractional reserve banking and severing the tie to the actual gold. And he said this, let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes the laws. So then you see how banking becomes merged with political power. You want to go to the next one? What are these banks doing with the money? Whosoever controls the volume of money in any country is absolute master of all industry and commerce. And when you realize that the entire system is very easily controlled one way or another by a few powerful men at the top, you will not have to be told how periods of inflation and depression originate. There's another angle in this. If these goldsmiths, first of all, they realize they can take money directly. They can just take in the money by putting out more receipts than there is gold backing them. Then they realized that under the central banking system, where you didn't just have a local bank, but you had a central bank that reaches out to the entire country, that when the money supply changed, or when enough receipts were put out there, you actually affected the economy. You affected other business sectors. Because when there's lots and lots and lots of receipts that are going out there, people haven't realized yet that there's more money. So their prices haven't changed. You can think of it if you're a person working at a store, you're selling milk.